episode 3, back with Kicking It with KB. I got my boy P here on Kosmic Soul right here in Florence. Make sure y'all pull up. Got all the heat, got all the stills, and one of the best on the East Coast. Make sure y'all pull up, man.
Appreciate that, bro.
Yes, sir.
You know, you been rocking with us for a little minute.
Yeah, sure. All right, first question. So, what made you want to start reselling kicks?
Really, bro, I've been in shoes my whole life. It was kind of like, it was something, it clicked to me one day, because, you know, being in the country, because we in the middle of nowhere type city. I just started traveling, man. A friend of mine taught me into going to a sneaker show one day. This was like over 10 years ago. Bad with time, but some early time there. And I just got exposed to the whole scene, you know, buying and selling, because I've always been buying them, but I never know, like, yo, I'm not the only one into this, you know what I mean? But coming from a country to a town, it may seem like that. Cause back in those times, bro, it was like 1 out of 100 that actually into it. So just going to the sneaker shows, let's say probably back in like 2012. Probably a little before that, maybe 2011, something like that. Just going to the shows, seeing what was going on, and just being mind blown from it, bro. Like the whole way home from my first show, I was like, bro, I got to do this.
Facts, right?
You know?
That's hard.
And I started with customs, by the way. A lot of people don't know that.
Really?
Yeah, just to try to build the revenue. Yeah, man. We used to do the custom shoes, we used to do the restorations, deep cleans, re-glues, midsole swaps, anything just to make a buck. 'Cause you know, back in the day, before the OGs got retro, just being able to take an OG and make it wearable again was a big thing. But now it's not so popular anymore.
So you buying several pairs.
Right, and they done retro to all of them, so it made the old ones worth practically nothing.
Right, 2-3 times.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, question 2. What were some of like the struggles trying to get into the resale game?
Just trying to figure it out, bro. A lot of the knowledge today came from losses, honestly. Just learning what not to do, just by hands-on experience, you know, because there ain't no school for this. And when I was like today, there's a lot of knowledge. Don't get me wrong. You get on YouTube, you can listen to a lot of the vets. They give out a lot of free games.
Oh, Instagram too.
Exactly. Yeah. But during my early times, there was nothing to really like look for. You know what I mean? You just had to get out there. You know, especially where we're at, South Carolina.
Sure.
It's like trying to start a fire in a cold place.
Right.
You feel me?
So, alright. So, what was the first shoe that you ever like resold?
Let's see. Honestly, bro, when I first started selling shoes, I wasn't even charging anybody anything. I was just getting them for them, just on some lookout. Like, he was like, yo, I know you can get them, bro. Help me get them. I don't know where to find them. So, probably one of the first ones was like a cool gray 11 to a friend of mine. That was back in like 2010.
Yeah.
But that's before the time frame that I mentioned about going to the sneaker shows and stuff. You know, I was just like probably my first time ever like buying a shoe and selling it to someone. Didn't profit at all, more so just a lookout for a friend, you know, just helping them. Because, you know, at one point, man, finding authentic shoes was a task.
Yeah.
Once they leave the mall and sell out,
Yeah,
you can get on eBay, you can get yours.
Yeah,
you
back
know?
then, yeah.
You had to know what to look for. So.
No StockX and that back then.
Exactly. It was a wild, wild west.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's where it started, bro.
Alright, so question number 4. What was the process of like trying to get like early pairs or trying to get like pairs from local stores?
A lot of legwork. A lot of getting up early in the morning, going to different little cities, little like, at one point they're not really around anymore, but mom and pop shops, which are a little outside of the whole corporate level of Foot Action and Foot Locker and stuff like that. Like we used to have stores, there was this one, I'm not gonna mention the name of it, you know, but they're not in business anymore. But at one point, that was the spot we could go and get them like 2 weeks early. Or really, bro, as soon as, because you know, some of the stores get their shipments in maybe a month in advance before release date. And the shoes are just sitting in the back. But we had this one store, we was getting like, as soon as they got the package in, we got the call. So that was a blessing, and that went on for years, but eventually the old man that owned the store, he just, I don't know if he got tired of it and went on to better things or what, but they're not active anymore.
Alright, so question number 5. I ain't trying to put you on the blast or nothing, but yeah, or jump man?
Yo, jump man all day. Anybody that knows me will tell you that.
Right.
I'm not an easy guy. You know what I mean? At all. I respect what he does, and I'm going crazy over here. I respect what he does, and you know, they're a good seller of ours, but you're not gonna catch me in 350s and this and that.
That's right. So, like, what was the process of transitioning from like doing that at your crib to like now having the store?
It was more of a persuasion thing. Like, I had people around me, like, for instance, Future, the owner of the trap, Mitch, he used to be in my ear a lot, like, bro, we need to take it to the next level. Like, you shit in your career, you need to be doing so much more. But me on some cocky, closed-minded type stuff, like, man, I'm good how I am, like, I'm doing good. And plus, I'm in a small city, I don't feel like it's gonna work. Just looking at what I see in other cities, you know, like, our population is like below 40,000, if I'm not mistaken. So those were key factors. But eventually, Mitch decided to come to this store that we're in now, and he taught me into coming in with him. And it just kind of transpired from there. You know, just doing the whole, like, enjoying like how we was at one time. Now he's got his own thing, you know, we got ours. But at one point we were together. A lot of that credit of that getting started goes to people like him that was in my ear, like, bro, we gonna do it. You know, for sure gotta give him credit to that.
Right. And he did the same thing when like I did the video. He was like, he shot you out during that video too.
Word, I'm happy to check that out.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I started, P from Kosmic. He was like, yeah, when I did this in 2017, it was like, it was 2 stories together, so it was like, I asked him, like, bro, we do this. Like,
right.
He said that in the interview too.
Yeah,
like, he did
and he'll tell you, bro, I was not feeling it. Just because of the fact.
He was like, basically, like, you got to sit on, like, you had to think about it, like, sit on type shit.
Because I was just going to SneakerCon, like, everybody knows me from SneakerCon. That was my thing. Like, we've been following them for almost 10 years now. Like, wherever they go, we there. So, a lot of people know us just from that. A lot of people don't even know I got a store. You know, it's just because of how much I travel.
Right, sure. Alright, so, question number 7, when did you start collecting, like, shoes for yourself?
Probably, like, I feel like I was birthed in this young. Like, my mom was buying, when she was a part of my life, she left real young, but she used to buy them for me though, you know. Jordans wasn't really a resale thing, so you could go in the mall and get a kid's shoe for like under $100. So she used to buy them, and I was just like one of those guys growing up young when Jordan was playing. So I used to see him on TV, and the way we would keep up with the shoes is by what he would be wearing, you know. So whatever I saw him with, I would want. And we talking back in like the Concord 11 times, in 95, 96, when all this mess kind of blew up. Some argue that the 85 blew it up, the 85 Chicago. And I would say so for me in my era, probably the Concord 11 by all means. So back then it started as a young little toddler thing, like, cause I was literally 6, 7 years old cleaning my own shoes, like trying to prolong them. Cause you ain't getting no more. Once you get them, it's a wrap, you know. So I would try to prolong that. And as I got older, man, I would, this is long before YouTube and all that, but Nike Talk was the thing. Familiar with that?
Yeah. When they had the orange logo.
Right. And it was like a vlog or not a vlog, but like a blog where people would just get on there and communicate with each other, go back and forth.
Like a Reddit.
Right, exactly. Sure. Strictly for sneakers. And man, I would get on there and get lost on like all the tutorials and how to clean shoes and stuff, and just would do that at my home, you know. And eventually, bro, over the years, it transpired into a little collection. Come on, bro, you good? Yeah, go ahead, come on.
Question number 8, what does the sneaker culture mean to you? Since you're so deep in it.
Right, it's probably the backbone of my life, honestly, man. Like, it's what I find fun in, you know, it's what supports me and my people. And it honestly changed my life, considering what was going on with me before I jumped into the whole sneaker business. So I'm forever thankful for the culture and the business, you know. And I plan to hopefully be here for a while, you know, without a doubt.
Question number 9, what do you see KOSMICSOLE in 5 years, and like you don't plan on expanding, like franchising?
We do, but I wouldn't say franchising because I don't want to get too watered down. The whole core of what we got is just based off of the certain individuals in here that are so good at what they do, and it's kind of hard to replicate that into a big, bigger enough. Like I don't know, man. It's like my guy over there. It's hard finding another one of him. You know what I mean? And if you want to continue to like carry on what we're known for, you gotta have it in the hands of the right people. So right now, I definitely do want to expand, but as far as like having a store in every city, that's not going to be a thing. We're going to keep it concentrated for sure.
For sure. You know? All right. And the last question number 10. What advice do you have for like all the people out there that want to become resellers or trying to get into the studio?
Man, it might seem real bland, but I would say just keep going. Like, just don't stop. Like, I done been through it all, bro. The ups and downs, the losses. It's just like, bro, I keep going for days. But I just didn't quit. And that goes back to what I said at the beginning, man. That's how I learn everything. By going through stuff, you know. The more you go, what's that old saying? You grow as you go.
My bad, I was trying to look for y'all day. Reggie told me the nigga next. My bad, I forgot y'all.
My man right up there, get you right at the counter.
Yeah, my bad.
All good, bro. You want me to give you a little tour of the store?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Got you. We're in the process of moving, man, so we're a little indie right now. We will be here until we get done building a new location. So basically, this is like our little grade school selection. This is our pre-owned. We're really known for throwing crazy pre-owned steals. If you don't know it, so you gotta be looking into that. Morning drops are crazy. Majority of what we get, sells as soon as the door opens, so it never really makes it to the shelf. You know what I mean? We move real fast. This is our Yeezy section. Pretty much the leftovers from this morning and the couple days before that, because they eat them up as soon as we put them out. Because we got unbeatable prices.
Right.
Anyone will tell you that. And then over here, this is a dead stock selection. Pretty much Jordans, because that's what the majority of our customers like. Retro Jordans, all of the latest models, whatever. Dunks, of course, that's a hot commodity right now. And then also we got a little bit of like just collectible conversation starters. Cards, I don't know much about them, but apparently there's some special ones that everybody always comes in and asks about. It's a friend of mine's stuff. He just wants to put it on display because his wife won't let him at his house. We got the Fire Red 4s, the 89. That's actually an original one.
Yes, sir.
As you can tell, it's made a lot different from the current models.
Might cost you $3 for them.
99 Bread 4, dead stock. And that's just something, just to compare the new shoes too, just to see how much has changed over the years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then we take you to the case up here too. Yeah, this would be like the heat selection, which is constantly in and out, you know what I mean?
You say what? I say you get your U one out there for like 40. You see, bro? That is horrible. You feel?
Yeah, most LeBrons ain't doing too good right now, bro. That's all it is.
I got you right there. I appreciate you though, bro. Yeah. How's it going, man?
Episode 3 of Kicking It with KB, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, copy our Wave merch, man. Stay tuned. Me and KOSMICSOLE gonna have some new stuff. They gonna have some new stuff coming soon. New store coming soon. Make sure y'all pull up, man. Florence, South Carolina. Wave, KOSMICSOLE taking over. Let's go, man.